All right, going live. All right, got Joshy this time from BJ on Game Day. Well, it's just a bit of a pre-show while we wait for Brent to jump online. How you doing, Joshy? Exactly the wrong time.
Mate, been better. No, mate, fantastic, fantastic. As you can see here, folks, we're giving a bit of the makeup department a bit of a run this week. So I've had my little apprentices on board, and we've gone with the full Psycho Circus look this week. So hopefully this doesn't go to too many children, as they might have a few nightmares.
Well, we did have to have some stakes for the big matchup between Psycho Circus and Ping and Ponga in the Super Coach over the weekend. So
yeah, mate, I did go down.
This will go up after BJ on Game Day, so I'm not spoiling anything with putting the scores up there.
Good,
but me and you, we had a tie this week. I noticed.
We did. I saw that. We both scored 11-15. So, mate, well done to you. You obviously had a bit of a better week this week, mate.
Yeah, there's a few things that went bad for me. A few blokes I left out of my starting 17, which was a bad choice.
Yep.
Lachlan Burr probably being the main one.
Yeah, I think Hampton and we both did, so that sort of sucked. But yeah.
And I was up against Big Ted. So if that
Did you beat him? No, it was 4 points, wasn't it?
Yeah, if that pass to Sivo at the end of the Parramatta Raiders game had been backwards, I would have won.
Yep. Oh, geez, that's
because he would have been over in the corner. So,
mate, that would have been a 30-point or so play in Sivo's favour. So, has it been unlucky, mate?
Yeah, it screwed me. So I got a bit screwed in the after game calculations as well. I was actually 2 points behind Big Ted at the end of that game, but in the wrap up of everything, it widened to 5. It's never in my favour whenever they recalculate things.
Mate, look, I've got a bit of a conspiracy theory here, and I'm sharing your exact thoughts because last week I scored 1109.
Yeah.
Now, after updates, after down dates, after everything, I finished on 1109. This week I did 1115, and the exact same thing. And it went up, went down, went up, went down, went back to 1115. Everyone else seems to go up 20 points, 30 points, and, get absolutely blessed.
Well,
and I get nothing.
Yeah, and I don't know how they calculate it. I had Teddy as my captain, and Big Ted had Fafita, and Teddy had, by the end of the game, Teddy had outscored Fafita, but then a couple of hours later, suddenly Fafita's got 10 more points. I don't know if they have someone watch the game and go, "Oh, you got an extra few tackles here," or
anyone who is watching at home, obviously, when they initially do it, they initially watch the game and they score it live. Then what they do, I think someone put up a schedule a couple of weeks ago on exactly when the scorers go back, and then they go over the game again.
Yep.
So let's say it's a Saturday night game. By Sunday at 4 p.m. when the first game kicks off, they will have done a recount. So they'll have done it live, and then they'll do a recount. Then what they do again is a final recount on Monday mornings of all the games. So you've basically got the game scored 3 times.
Yeah.
And that's basically due to the iffy play. So, like, there might be a try assist or a line break assist that went one way during the game or live, that they looked at consistency and they take that off.
I'm guessing there'd be some things like in-goal plays and stuff like that would technically be a knock-on, would be an error, but it's actually a good play by the fullback to get that ball out of the danger zone. So I'm guessing there'd be things like that they'd be arguing about because it's big money business.
It's small stuff, but at the end of the day, like, you look at Brent, obviously with the crystal ball results from last week, which – Brent's going to have to eat a chili tonight. The one he missed out on,
he said he'd be along in 20 minutes too.
He said, what's that?
He said he'll be along in 20 minutes.
Oh, beauty. Yeah, no, so he had Josh Hodgson. So he picked Josh Hodgson to bounce back, scored less than 40 the week before to score more than 75. Now, at the end of the game, Josh Hodgson was on 73. So he was 2 points short. After the next day, after the first update, he was on 77. So he's 2 points clear. He'd done all right. He actually ended up on 56. Once they'd counted everything on Monday morning, he went all the way back to 56.
How do you have that much of a discrepancy?
So when you've got the big plays like line break assists or try assists, so to give you an idea, a try assist is worth 12 points, right? So if you lose a try assist, now I looked at that Canberra game, I watched all of it, and out of the 3 tries Canberra scored, I think he set up 2 of them. Mm-hmm. So I think what they've done is they've probably taken either 1 or 2 or both of those away and given him what's called I don't know what they're calling it, a try contribution. So rather than a try assist is, it's a little bit of a hard thing, and this is what a lot of people are actually pissed off about is, much like the referee in the game, the scoring in Supercoach is just the consistency behind it. You know, people look at 1 week, it's one person getting a try assist, and that's worth 12 points. Well, the try contribution's only worth 4, so it's a big difference there between those. And imagine if you get 4 of those go your way in a round and 4 of them go against your opponent. All of a sudden there's 60 points difference, you know, and that's a lot. So, yeah.
I think that was Breno, was it? I heard something go off.
Don't know. So what's been going up on your channel of late, mate? What do you put on your?
I have just been putting the post shows that me and Brent have been doing. We generally watch the end of the game, the simulated game, and talk a bit about what's new in footy. Sort of how the Supercoach has been going, how the channel's been going. So what you joined us last week briefly to tell us about Supercoach Addicts. Just so it's nowhere near as clean as the regular show. That's why I just call it the post-show shambles.
Yeah, nice. And that just gets posted on your page, does it, mate?
Yeah, I just put that on my channel, which I don't do. I don't do a lot of production value with my stuff. So
fair enough. Have you get some views like the blokes who were watching your channel before we came along?
No,
have they switched off?
They would not give a fuck about rugby league at all. Maybe if it was fucking NFL or something like that. So the few followers I do have on my channel, most of them are Americans. But I'm all about spreading the game.
Is that all through gaming?
Yeah, pretty much. So
what gaming do you normally stream on yours?
Usually I don't even talk on my channel. Usually it's just a matter of if I get past a bullshit part of a game that might be a bit tough to do, I'll just capture the video and put it up so people can see how to do it.
Yeah.
So
I do that all the time when I play games because I'm shithouse.
Yeah, well,
I find myself cheating all the time.
And obviously, compared to other fucking YouTubers, it's nothing. But I've got like 14K on one video because people were just stuck on this one part of this video game. And people tend to be pretty grateful if they can see how to get past a certain part. So
yeah, nice. Oh, mate,
but I'm looking
I go into a game. I don't play many.
Yeah.
But last time I played was Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
That's a fucking fantastic game. It's one of my favourites.
I think I used about 100 YouTube videos to get through the bloody thing, and I still haven't finished. So there you go.
Yeah. That's actually my favourite Assassin's Creed game. It's a fantastic game. So I'm actually replaying.
I was a big fan.
Replaying through Assassin's Creed 3 at the moment. It just recently got re-released on the PlayStation 4. So just same shit, shinier graphics, but yeah. Big controversy this week. We'll talk about it. We'll probably talk about it more in the show, which will be on BJ on GameDay. After 4 rounds of what you'd say is competent which is fantastic for refereeing, but competent refereeing. There was the first big controversy with the referees during the Storm Cowboys game with the players down in back play. What did you think of that?
Yeah, look, it's one of those tough ones for the referees. You look, individually, they've got to look at each injury and player that goes down. You don't want to stop play, you don't want to stop the flow.
I've heard that both referees have been stood down for this week.
Yeah, and I think that's a result of the injury that happened. Yeah. Obviously, Nene McDonald, under that circumstances, has a dislocation of the ankle, has a fractured ankle. And I think that the clearest part about this was there were two players involved. Now, you see a lot of the times where referees will continue a game in those circumstances because they think that the player that's gone down injured is trying to manipulate the situation and to get play stopped and slow down and, for their team to get a rest.
I can certainly understand that, but that was clearly not the case this time.
And that's exactly the point, is that here you had two guys who clearly, and on video too, I mean, this is the biggest thing is, look, at the end of the day, these guys, these referees who are on the field are doing everything at 100 mile an hour. They can't see everything on the field. They would have seen this, obviously.
And to be fair,
they've got to work.
I'm surprised the pocket ref didn't pick up something.
Well, but going beyond those, whether you've got the touchies who become involved, but I would like to think that the bunker has the opportunity to take 15 seconds to replay the footage away from the TV screens and to see it and to see the impact there that the two Cowboys players had against each other and simply, radio through to the referee to stop it. Look, at the end of the day, I think play went on for about a minute and a half beyond what happened.
It wasn't stopped until there was a penalty on a high shot on a Storm player.
Correct.
So
correct.
So a bit of
Cam Munster's taken out from his kick.
Yeah, that's right. Bit of a rough time for the Cowboys there. Yeah.
So look, at the end of the day, would it have made a difference to the result? Look, I don't think so. Storm were, they could have scored a try by all means.
And to be fair, I'm loving this year because I'm a Rabbitohs supporter. I've never known what it's like to go for a team that can play like shit for a whole half of football but still come out with a win. And that's exactly what the Storm did. They played absolutely fucking terrible until Cam Smith broke that point scoring record, and they seemed to that energised them, and then they just ran away with the game. Not many teams can get away with that, and I think the Cowboys still would have been in with a shot if they just didn't have all the decisions like that fallen against them. But we'll see this week. It should be a cracker between the Storm and the Roosters. Could go either way. That's the
top of the table. Obviously, the grand finalists from last year. They've gone 1-2 again this season so far, and both teams look really good.
It's a bit of a unstoppable force hits the immovable object type of football game. So
it is, mate. It is. Look, I don't think you're going to find a grand final match. Like you to look at the intensity when you get to finals and grand finals and things like that. This is early in the season. Teams everywhere have got injuries. Still trying to figure out some new combinations and where they are this year. I think Melbourne will get over them. I think Melbourne will sort of win this week because I think Craig Bellamy factor, just with his smarter coaching, will have them better prepared.
Yeah.
But look, it's going to be a cracker of a game. So hopefully it lives up to all the hype and to all the setup for it because, it should be a good one.
Yeah, I actually think the opposite. I think the Roosters are going to come out on top in this one just because they're getting a lot of key players back. They've had a few more tougher games than the Storm. They've lost one game. That was to the Rabbitohs. And to be honest, I think the Rabbitohs, the Storm and the Roosters are probably the three form teams of the competition at the moment. So I think they're a little bit more battle weary than the Storm are at the moment. As I said, Storm were just not switched on in the first half against the Cowboys. I believe it was 8-6 to the Cowboys at halftime, I believe, if I remember correctly. So Cowboys were very much still in it until they obviously ran away with it in the second half. So I'm actually picking the Roosters for that one. But
fair enough, mate. Fair enough.
Definitely it is the game of the round. I don't know why they're putting it on Friday night, but maybe because of the long weekend, most likely.
Oh, yeah. Look, at the end of the day, most of your big games each week will go on the Friday night, just from a telecast point of view. It's where most people can tune in. And they get more money out of that revenue for the broadcasting rights, I guess.
Yeah, well, and I'm a bit old school, whereas I tend to think the game of the week should be on the Sunday. But
Sunday afternoon footy was always the one you wanted to watch. It was the one that got people out to the grounds more anyway, because obviously your kids get the day off, the parents get the day off. It's in the afternoon, so you don't have to worry about getting home too late. And, that's sort of taken a bit of a back seat in the last few years, obviously, because of those TV rights kind of scenarios.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because they show the 3 o'clock game, do they? Or 4 o'clock game on Channel 9, do they? I watch it all through the app. Yeah. So, yeah, because some of those Sunday night games have been crackers as well.
Yeah, like obviously, you get the Friday night and the Sunday afternoon on free to air. But I've downloaded that KO Sports and it's been fantastic. So, I've watched the last couple of Sunday night games and they've been really good.
Oh, dog's going off.
Yeah, mate. The cat's on the bench and the dogs are out the back telling her she shouldn't be. But actually, in saying that, cat's on the bench eating someone's dinner. Hang on, I'll be back.
Yeah, no worries. We're just watching. It's 12-6 to the Tunnel Snakes at the moment in this game.
You say 12-6? I reckon you rigged that game, Bogan.
If anything, your team should be better because it's the last one I updated.
Oh, right.
I suppose the other big news from the week was Greg Inglis announcing he's hanging up the boots.
Yeah, look, obviously, Greggy, fantastic player. Fantastic player. Look, me personally have never been a massive fan of him. Nothing to do with the guy, just purely the footballer.
No, yeah, as a footballer, I've always found him to be a very lazy footballer. He's an absolute freak when it comes to his abilities. But he always played better at fullback because he could sit up the back and have a sleep for half the match.
Look, I think he's not, because of his size, because he's a big guy, he's not dynamic. So he's not quick, but he is powerful. So you see him use his body, and I think that the biggest case of that was, going back 10, 15 years ago, there was a game there where I think Melbourne were playing, might have been the Dragons, and he scores a try on the left-hand side of the field, and he absolutely put Jamie Soward on his ass. Now, Jamie Soward now commentates and does a few things on NRL.com and that, but Dad said if you get a chance, mate, go and find that one because that's probably one of the most impressive plays of his career. He basically throws Jamie Soward 2 metres through the air and then scores a try right on top of him.
So, yeah, it just, as a South supporter, obviously you watch him and you see him up the back a lot of the times and begging for him to involve himself more. I think that's why I describe him as, I'm not saying he's a lazy footballer like training-wise or ethic-wise, more style-wise. It was too rare that he would inject himself into the game, and you saw that he could do it because during Origin that guy was fucking devastating when he was playing for Queensland.
Look, I think,
but I was very disappointed that he's decided to hang the boots up. I was more disappointed that he turned around and said it was his own decision because I'd really like him to be medically medically retired so we can get that salary cap money back. But
Right.
He says it's his decision. So, thanks for
Yeah.
that, Greg.
Yeah, look, I mean, at the end of the day, it'd be nice because, then you could fit some more players in. But I don't know. I don't really have an opinion either way on that one. If he played for Cronulla, I might be different. But,
Well,
yeah.
Cronulla would definitely need that cap space. But
Year in, year
I'm
out, I don't know.
sure.
I've always thought how we undercap Cronulla, and then it turns out that we aren't half the time. So
Yeah,
there you go.
I'm sure Greg's got himself a nice job in the South coaching staff already lined up for him.
Mate, he'll have plenty. He'll get a gig with the Queensland squad as well. So I'm sure Greggy'll be well looked after.
Yeah. Also, he's got all the paper bags from his days in Melbourne, so that's fine. And he's probably got a role in Russell's next movie or something. So
Yeah, no doubt.
Actually,
that probably surprises me that Rusty hasn't actually brought more blokes into the filming sort of.
This is and allegedly we're under the alleged blanket. Don't sue me, Russell Crowe. I think that's how that they've wrought it. I think when you see a lot of these, when Sam Burgess retires, he's going to be an action hero. Because I reckon that's how Russell's butted him up. He said, "You play 10 seasons for me, and I'll make you Arnold Schwarzenegger."
It wouldn't be a bad idea. Oh, look, hey, and these are the things, aren't they? There's so many of these handshake deals under tables and that they try and keep out of the salary cap. So, definitely wouldn't surprise me.
The third party deals is something I've never understood. Because it's supposed to be separate to the club.
Yeah.
But I don't know how that can be that you'll get this deal that's separate to the club as long as you play for this club. I've never understood how that works, and it's always seemed a bit dodgy. Like you got the Thoroughbreds up in Brisbane, up where you are. A consortium of businessmen that are not connected to the Brisbane Broncos. They just pay the Brisbane Broncos players a shit ton of money.
Yes.
To play for the Broncos. I don't see how that works. But hasn't been serving the Broncos too well this season anyway. So,
look, I mean, there's the salary cap's one of the good things in our game that evens the game out. I mean, you've still got the dominant forces like your Melbourne Storm and the Roosters basically over the last sort of 8 or so years have been pretty solid as well. But I'm not against, the sort of English Premier League or the Major League Baseball kind of scenario where there aren't any caps and that basically the more money you got, the better your team is. I think it's a little bit hard in the Australian economy and the climate that we've got for that to happen. But,
Well, you'd basically end up with 4 clubs just dominating the whole competition.
That's usually what happens,
It'd probably be Melbourne, Brisbane. You'd have to say if Russ was really keen on bankrolling South would be up there. And probably one of your more richer Sydney clubs would probably be up there, in eastern suburbs or something like that.
Yeah, well, your Sydney Roosters got Nick Politis who owns them now. It's no secret, obviously, Nick's got plenty of money and he runs a lot, and there's talk about him always with Sonny Bill Williams and bringing all kinds of players back to the league. So,
So I think the salary cap's good. The competition has never been more even than what it is now. You just look at that Titans Titans versus Panthers game. So,
my only comment there for that, Bogan, is obviously with the reason I'm not a fan of the salary cap is because of the drama it creates. So if you don't have a salary cap, you don't get any of this drama. You don't get any of this cheating or anything like that. Now, take for example, Shane Flanagan, obviously the Cronulla coach who's no longer.
Which is a shame for Cronulla. A shame for
probably
for the NRL in general, because he'll probably go over. He'll probably go over to England at some stage and get a minor coaching role, and whoever picks him up will be blessed for him. So
no. Look, I mean, when I look at it, I think it's a little bit tough on him because at the end of the day, he's trying to put the best team on the park that he can. yes, at the end of the day, he's broken the rules. He's done that. But at the same stage, he was punished for that. And the fact that you can get in trouble for sending some emails or talking to someone, like, it's like you're getting your kids in trouble and you're saying, you don't talk to that person again, and then they go back and they talk to the same kid, like, it's just, it seems a little bit petty to me, and it seems...
Yeah, and see, I don't want to really comment on that because I don't know what the contents of that email was either. I can understand if he's given them detailed plans on how to shape the team and stuff like that, that could be a violation of suspension. But we all got jobs, we all work with people, we've got friends at work. If he sent an email to a colleague at the Sharks and said, how's you going, how's the kids and stuff like that, well, yeah, there's a context involved in what those emails would be about that would sort of shape my decision.
Yeah, gotcha.
My opinion, probably more than a decision, because I've got no decision making on that. But I think it was a bit rough he got suspended in the first place. Same with James Hird at the Bombers. These guys aren't doctors, and they hire professionals to look after that shit for them. And they've both hired that, what was his name, Dent or whatever it is?
Yeah, Stephen Dank.
Dank, that's right. With the expectation that he's being a professional and he's giving professional advice.
Yeah.
Now, if that's not the case, now if it turns out that he said, I've got this dodgy shit in this black briefcase that will turn your players into Supermen, but it's illegal, and the coach has said, fuck it, go ahead with it anyway, that's a bit different. But from my...
And I mean, it comes down to exactly that, doesn't it? Like, let's say that's the situation, and if you can honestly turn around and say, no, I had no idea, which no one's ever going to believe you. At the end of the day, these guys might be the professionals, but they do everything under the direction of the coach. You sort of say the same thing. A lot of these companies have got, a lot of these, football teams have got, salary cap internal auditors, or they've got people who basically manage, the finances of the team. Because at the end of the day, you can guarantee that the coach isn't the one adding up to who's on 9.4 million or 9.6 million as a team. He'd have something to do with it, but you've got to look at it all different ways.
Well, and to be fair, you wouldn't want that to be open knowledge around a club. If you've got a team, if you had a team working in an office, and you had 13 people doing the same job, you wouldn't want one knowing that there's another bloke getting paid 5 times as much as him for doing the same job. It's not good for the attitude.
Yeah. Mate, I'm in sales, and, I work under a commission structure with a retainer, and, we've got 6 guys on our team. The reflection of how hard you work is in your result, and that should be what rewarded your commission. To know that some other guy's starting on 20 or 30 grand extra a year instead of me, just because he got the better deal, or whatever it may be. Yeah, that'd be pretty tough, and it'd create animosity within the playing group, I guess.
Yeah. Speaking of, how do you think a lot of sport? Obviously, the US is probably the number one nation for professional sports structures. I'm not a big fan of the actual sports they play. But what would you think of performance-based pay for NRL players? I know that some clubs have played with the idea in the past. Do you think is that something that could work in the NRL?
I think it can under certain circumstances. I guess it determines,
like obviously
performance-wise, what is it?
Like obviously,
I remember playing.
If you were Mitchell Pearce walking into the Knights in the state that they were when he joined that club, you wouldn't be signing a performance-based contract based on wins, that's for sure.
Well, no, exactly right. And look, I played Queensland Cup back in the day for Burleigh, and I know a couple of the guys there were on performance-based contracts. So you got X amount for every game. Depending on your position, some of the guys got X amount for every win. Some of the guys got X amount for every try. So, whether it was $300 you got every game, if you had a win, you got another 150 or 200 on top. and then for every try, $50 or $100 or whatever it might be.
Geez, that would create some white line fever, though, wouldn't it?
Oh, look, it does. It does. But I mean, that's a good thing because at the end of the day, that's what that's what commissions do. That's what targets do. Is they create motivation. They create hunger.
Yeah.
Where you get in trouble is where you're offering those things and they don't create the hunger that you want them to. So,
and I'm more thinking about that time that that player decides to hold on to that ball instead of making that pass into the gap because they think, oh, I could get 50 out of this.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's a whole nother can of worms, and I don't think we're anywhere near that. But I don't mind the idea. But again, if they could find a way to, and I think this is what they've always been trying to do, is find a way to reward that doesn't affect the salary cap or doesn't come under the salary cap. And it's those kind of scenarios, or it is the third-party scenarios. It's basically a way of cheating the system, but they want to try and do it, X amount of ways. And at the end of the day, they already do it. If you've got your third-party agreements, that is cheating the system.
Yeah.
But they put a cap on those of how much they can do. So,
but then what's the point
6
of
one,
them?
half a dozen the other.
What's the point of them then? Like the point of a
the point of
third-party
them is just that
agreement.
they can extend then basically salary cap. I mean,
that's
you may as
that's
well.
what I mean. Just extend the salary cap.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Let's say your salary cap's 10 million, and you've got third-party deals worth 4. Well, why not just make the salary cap 14 million? I don't think you really need
Breno
to.
just messaged me. He'll be another half an hour, unfortunately. Obviously,
Oh, will he?
Yeah,
right.
He's obviously got something going on.
Mate, I might go and reapply my makeup because I've got a couple of things that I could probably do first as well.
Not a problem. So back on at, say, 20 to 10.
Done. All right, buddy. I'll see you then.
All right, well, thanks for joining us on the pre-game show this time.
Yes, pre-game show. It's a new thing, folks.
Yeah.
It looks good.
All right.
All right, cheers, man.
See ya. All right, and I'm back with Joshy from BJ on GameDay. Pre-game show part 2 as we wait for Brent. He could be along any moment now. I just thought, why let these precious internet bytes go to waste while we wait? What were we talking about before? So we were talking about salary cap, dodgy third-party deals. We talked about the blunder by the referees, and if that's the worst blunder by the referees we have this season, we've had a good season. As I said, they've been pretty good, utilising the bunker for the right thing. Notice they're calling a lot more obvious tries now than what they did last year. So, and
they haven't really made the headlines too much. So, if the refs aren't in the headlines, they're doing a good job. That's usually why you hear from them is when they've stuffed something up. Like obviously we saw with those injuries on the weekend. But if they haven't found the back page or the 6 o'clock bulletin, doing a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Fuck this makeup's fucking itchy. I don't know how fucking.
You do realise that part of the conditions of that was you're not allowed to mention it throughout the show at all.
Oh really? Shit. Oh, I should be all right with that, but
because I want to see the YouTube comments of why is he wearing the clown makeup?
We're not allowed to mention at all. What do you mean? Like not even a lead in to say I lost a bet.
Nah, you got to pretend like there's nothing on your face.
Okay. Does Hampton know that? Because I don't think he does.
Well, it was part of what I tweeted to him, and he didn't tweet back. That's why I didn't know if he accepted. Hold on, I'll see if I can bring up the tweet.
I got to be honest. I only looked it up today, and I just thought, for shits and giggles, I don't really give a shit what I look like on camera. I'm used to being this ugly, but I hadn't thought about not even able to say it. That'd make it hilarious. That'll make it much better.
Hold on, I'm trying to find it. Here we go. So my original tweet was, all right, BJ on game day. And how do you pronounce that? I one day or?
I wonder why.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
You know how you say one in French,
Yeah.
in Spanish? One? I
Yep.
wonder why.
It's how about
Yeah.
whoever loses the head-to-head has to do the show in clown makeup, but cannot acknowledge they're wearing it for the whole show.
Right.
So,
Just not that office for
if
me.
that's right, if Brent says something, you go, "Oh, just had dinner. Do I have a bit of stroganoff or something on my face? Do I?"
Ah, oh, I sent him a photo of it already, saying, "You better hurry up. Look what I've done for you." That chili better be fucking hot, I can tell you.
It better be fucking big too. If he went and
Oh,
got one of those fucking pissy little chilies that we can hardly see on the camera, because I need something for the thumbnail.
you might have to, yeah. I don't reckon. He'll have pussied out. It better be bigger than my Vegemite spoon, that's for sure. with, I don't know. There'll be a redo if it's not good enough. There'll be a redo next week. But this week's a wheat bix, a dry wheat bix.
I was
One of
saying
the
that, and here's the thing: I could do that easily. I used to do
Oh,
it as a kid. Like, just go and grab a wheat pick and just munch on it.
Oh, really? No, I'll be coughing for like half an hour afterwards.
Nah, it's just like a biscuit. But you're going to run out of things to eat before, it's something that's going to do you in.
Yeah. Where is this bloke?
I don't know. He texted me
All right.
and goes, okay.
Bear with me 2 seconds. I'll be back.
Yeah, no worries. And while Joshy is going to do his thing, I'll just set up this game so it's ready to go. So Pinga-Ponga vs Psycho Circus once again. Just some of the more riveting content that you'll find on the Angry Bogan channel. Attempting to call one Brent again. Hello.
Got him? Is he back?
No. Hold on. He's having some technical difficulties with his Skype. He just sent.
Oh, right.
Well, it's saying that he's on standby. Maybe if I drop him from the call. He's having some login issues with his Microsoft account.
Oh, okay. You want to know how I got these scars?
I actually watched that movie again last weekend. Because have you seen
my father?
My father. Have you seen the trailer for the new Joker with Joaquin Phoenix? It actually looks quite good. Character piece. More.
What do you mean? They've done it again?
They're doing.
Who's it?
It's
Who's the Joker?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Really?
Yeah. But it's more of a character piece on the Joker rather than a big fucking CGI action hero fucking thing. It's more like he's a...
Yeah.
Starts off as a sort of timid, sort of normal bloke, and it's his transformation into the Joker. So,
yeah, right, okay. Yeah.
I'll try ringing Brent again. Hopefully it'll fucking call on his end and he can answer it. But yeah, it looks really good. You should look it up. It's just called Joker. The trailer came out for it recently. No.
Yeah, okay. Where is this unit?
Oh, I'm half tempted to tell him just to fucking set up a new Skype account.
That'll only take him 5 minutes, won't it? No, you need a new email as well. That's what happened with me. I've got like 15 different Facebook accounts because I'd delete one and then I'd forget what email I had and then I'd forget that one and then I'd try and make another one and that was connected to my old phone number. So then they'd lock it and fucking hell. It's a pain in the ass.
There's a thumbnail.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Come on, Hampton. We're not live on anything, are we?
I am sort of recording, but I probably won't put this up because there's been too much dead air. Dead air.
Gotcha.
Might use a few things of you and your clown makeup for various screenshots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Considering I'm getting you at different angles.
Yeah. Fucking hell. It's hard to sit on these fucking stools for longer than 10 minutes without moving.
I went for lunch with my sister the other day, and sitting on these stools in this fucking hipster cafe. And fuck! By the end of it, my back was just killing me.
Fucking hell, hipsters. I remember I went to Smith's Alternative, the bookstore.
Yeah.
I went there one night for a poetry slam, and I wrote a lot of poetry and shit. And
yeah, so did I when I was 14.
Anyway, I was at work that day, and the my receptionist, I was talking to her about it, and she's like, "Oh, what are you, a fucking hipster?" And I was like, "Nah, not even." And then I went and sat in this fucking Smith's Alternative bookstore with the queerest fucking bunch of people, paid $14 for a fucking bourbon, and I just thought, hang on, maybe I am. I ended up writing a poem that night that I'm actually pretty stoked about. I wrote it there in about 5 minutes, and it was basically, no, but who the fuck am I? But no,
Yeah,
fucking hipster.
I've been having a few of those existential moments as well. Like being someone who's in their late fucking 30s who plays video games, you have those sorts of feelings all the time.
Yeah.
So,
I heard a whoop.
Yeah, so did I.
Hampton. Hello.
I'm trying to call him.
Brent, are you there? Brent.
He's not there at the moment, but I'm trying to call him. No.
People are going to be too busy watching Game of Thrones this week to even watch us.
I watched it on my lunch break at work. On my phone.
My point exactly. My point. I only watched up to like season 3. I haven't seen any of the latest shit.
He can't call in, he's claiming.
Well, fuck, we didn't ask you to call him. We asked you to pick up the phone because we called you.
I've had to use a different account. Fucking hell. Well, what's it called? Maybe I will. Maybe I will put this one up.
I don't mind. It's funny, the one there where we were sat on the couch a couple of weeks ago, and we got to the end of the video, and I forgot I was on video, and I actually pulled me fucking cock out of me strides to give it a good scratch. And I'm just lucky the video was high enough.
So there's a streamer called Darkside Phil, right? A video game streamer, and this dude is a pretty pathetic dude. He's widely known as being like pathetic. And one of the reasons for that is that he actually jerked off on stream.
Really?
He didn't realise his fucking camera was on. Now you don't see anything except like the usual head and shoulders.
Shaking,
but the facial expressions there and the shaking of the shoulders there. And the funniest part is when he realises that the camera's on.
Huh. Yeah, like, I had one of those moments. Oh, fuck. I wasn't even giving it that much of a shake, just a scratch.
Well,
Oh.
um,
All right.
oh, actually, that's something we can do while we wait for Brent to get in contact with us. I did try and set up the streaming. So, I'm just going to click go
Oh, they
live.
go live.
And we'll just do a bit of a test stream. So,
We're going to go live with this on my face.
Yep.
Rightio.
And I'm just going to just change it to test. Oh, hold on. I just got a message from Brent. What's he have to say? Oh, you fucking prick.
What's he doing?
Oh, he sent me his new Skype name.
Yeah.
And it's a series of random numbers and letters.
Why is that bad?
Well, it's not something that I can just easily type in, that's all.
Oh, right. Can you just copy and paste?
Not from my phone.
Ah.
So anyway, we'll cancel the going live. We'll test that another day. And I'll try and add Brent to this Skype call.
Right.
Let me just look him up. Brent Hampton. Here we go. Chatted 3. So
Hang on. I'm going to have to go get my charger out of my car. I've just used half my battery in this 45 minutes.
Yeah, no worries. And we did discuss during the quite lengthy pre-game fucking show that if that chili wasn't big enough, it'd have to be a redo.
What do you mean? It's fucking not small. It's just a fucking...
Oh.
All right.
I think you're just there. Yeah. All right. We can see
It's
that.
fucking
I thought it was
nose
gonna be,
size.
Oh, you wish.
Cock size for some blokes.
You got-
maybe.
Too right.
You
got no milk or anything there, do you?
Fucking ass I do, brother. I ain't
Oh,
fucking-
come
not my
on. Come on. Full cream milk.
first- 1 litre.
Oh, 1 litre.
All
You
right.
didn't go Canberra milk, mate.
Nah,
Alright.
fuck that. I'm probably going to skull that shit. So.
So, Hampton, we can't mention the makeup, apparently.
Yeah, that's part
Oh,
of
that's
it.
right. That was part of it. Yeah, okay.
That's part of it. So
That's
it's just
too
a normal.
good.
It's just a
Normal,
normal
yeah.
write-up. Yeah.
And people can ask in the fucking comments.
Go it, yeah.
Well, if they come to my channel and see this video, they'll see the reason why the clown makeup. But all right,
Oh, dude. That's
BJ
too
on
good.
GameDay is the channel name. Go and check it out for a full action-packed show with chili eating and crazy fucking clowns and everything.
I ain't got a best joker. I can't see the screen. Let me see it. I gotta. What do you want? Oh shit! Me makeup's running everywhere. God, no wonder women.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
You get that?
That was good.